When two people believe opposite things, chances are that one of them is wrong. It pays to find out if that someone is you. And that's why I believe you must appreciate and develop the art of thoughtful disagreement. In thoughtful disagreement, your goal is not to convince the other party that you are right. It is to find out which view is true and decide what to do about it. Everybody, good morning again for Bigo, because Bigo is still taking 2 seconds to start. Hope you're all having an absolutely amazing day. Let's get the day started with some reading to get motivated, to be able to learn some new things, to find some things that we might be able to implement throughout the day. Reading is a great way to get started. And we are already on point 3.3. Appreciate the art of thoughtful disagreement, which is what I did with Ray Dalio's principles yesterday when I disagreed slightly. Hello to everybody on Bigo, by the way. I can see Lucas just joined and a couple of other people. It is great to meet you. Let's get started with the reading, though. When two people believe opposite things, chances are that one of them is wrong. It pays to find out if that someone is you. And that's why I believe you must appreciate and develop the art of thoughtful disagreement. In thoughtful disagreement, your goal is not to convince the other party that you are right. It is to find out which view is true and decide what to do about it. In thoughtful disagreement, both parties are motivated by the genuine fear of missing important perspectives. Exchanges in which you really see what the other person is seeing and they really see what you are seeing. With both your higher level yous trying to get to the truth are immensely helpful and a giant source of untapped potential. To do this well, approach the conversation in a way that conveys that you're just trying to understand. Use questions rather than make statements. Conduct the discussion in a calm and dispassionate manner and encourage the other person to do that as well. Remember, you are not arguing. You are openly exploring what's true. Be reasonable and expect others to be reasonable. If you're calm, collegial, and respectful, you will do a lot better than if you are not. You'll get better at this with practice. So, one of the best ways of practicing this is to meditate, to be zen, to be calm. I do it when I'm driving. So when I'm driving, I sometimes get frustrated by some of the people around me. However, what I do notice is that sometimes they are in a place that they've never been before, so they don't know the way. They may not have been driving for as long as I have. They may have stopped for a car that's parking, and I can't see that because there's a whole row of cars in front of me. So I have had to learn to zen a little bit when I am driving, and we can all learn it in some area of our life. Wherever we feel that we want to have control is where we really, really struggle with these kinds of things, where we tend to be a little bit more upset with people in that sense. So if we can practice that, then it makes it much easier for us to be able to implement this, the art of thoughtful disagreement. So if you are looking to convince somebody that they are wrong, then obviously you don't want to be wrong. I don't want to be wrong. Nobody likes being wrong. And so what we tend to do is we are going to defend ourselves and we are going to disagree with you, regardless of whether you're right or not. If you tell me that my nose is too long, I'm suddenly going to love my nose more than I ever have in my life, even if I never liked it in the first place. If you tell me my nose is no good, then I am going to find ways to prove that you are wrong, because now it's become something personal for me. So we don't want to criticize and belittle people. What we want to do is we want to be able to just sit down and be calm and not create disagreements around what is happening. The best way of doing this is by actually being with people that you can explain this principle to, people who are also going to be calm, people who are not going to attack you back, people who understand the principle of a thoughtful disagreement. And then you can sit down and you can say, okay, if this is the case, what does that mean? If this is the case, what does that mean? If we did this, do you think that would be good? Yes, I would. No, I wouldn't. And then over to the other person, do you think it would be good? And then you can have a discussion around it rather than have an argument around it. So if you can do that, it is extremely valuable to actually being able to find out the best way forward, as opposed to, oh, it reminds me of politics, because I get the Financial Review every morning. And if you have a look at politicians, all they do is just argue and shout at each other rather than looking for a common ground or a way to move forward together. You did the wrong thing, you stuffed up, you blah, blah, blah. And it's all about political point scoring. So if political parties would work together and say, okay, so there's this solution, there's that solution. What is the better out of those two? Not that I'm saying that you're an idiot for coming up with the idea. You've got a good idea. I've got a good idea. How can we see which one is going to get the best results? Can we get somebody else to analyze the two ideas? Can we get an audit to see what would happen if we increase the price for doctors, if we decrease the price for doctors? What is going to happen for the person using that service? Are they going to use it more? Are they going to use it less? Is it going to be beneficial for them? Is it going to be beneficial for somebody else? So now you can start to have a look at it from two different perspectives. Can we combine the two ideas? Are there good parts of your idea and good parts of my idea that we can combine? And it becomes a discussion rather than an argument. So if you can let go of telling the other person that they're wrong or looking for fault or judging, then you can start having a discussion, and then you can come up with even better ideas. To me, it's pointless when people get angry with each other when they disagree, because most disagreements aren't threats as much as opportunities for learning. People who change their minds because they learn something are the winners, whereas those who stubbornly refuse to learn are the losers. That doesn't mean you should blindly accept others' conclusions. You should be what I call open-minded and assertive at the same time. You should hold and explore conflicting possibilities in your mind while moving fluidly toward whatever is likely to be true based on what you learn. Some people can do this easily while others can't. A good exercise to make sure that you're doing this well is to describe back to the person you are disagreeing with their own perspective. If they agree you've got it, then you're in good shape. I also recommend that both parties observe a 2-minute rule in which neither interrupts the other, so that they both have time to get all their thoughts out. I think I need to take notes on that part. So I love the 2-minute rule. I've never implemented this myself, but I think that would be brilliant. But to come back to the first point is that, let's have a look. Describe back to the person who you're disagreeing with what their perspective is. So I love to paraphrase. So if somebody explains something to me, and whether I agree or not, I do this all the time. So it doesn't really bother me whether I agree with the person or not. And it's a good practice to do it all the time as well. So when somebody tells me something, and I did this in some interviews that I've been doing recently, I spoke to somebody, asked them a question, they gave me an answer, and I wanted to make sure that I understood it well, and so I paraphrased it. So I said, did you mean, or is the intention of what you just said to say this, this, and this? And they agreed. And sometimes they'll disagree. And if they disagree, then obviously that's something really good, because now I know that I haven't understood them. So I could be attacking somebody for something, but I haven't really understood them. And this is a key point. So let's say that somebody says something and I disagree, and then I go at them, and then they're going to protect themselves. But maybe I never understood correctly in the first place. Imagine if they said something and I thought they said A, but really they said B. And now I'm disagreeing with them and fighting with them, even though maybe we are in agreement, but we just don't know because I haven't understood properly. So if I would have paraphrased, it gives me the chance to be able to see whether I really did understand, and whether I really do agree or disagree. And whether I disagree or not, I give them the 2 minutes, which is amazing. They can finish everything that they want to say, so that I'm not like attacking them back over what they just said. And then I have my 2 minutes to put my points of view forward. And then we discuss, rather than now we're just back and forth and get in this gridlock and nothing moves forward. Very quickly, so a Rubik's Cube, nice to see you. And Hannah Rose, Renee Young, thank you for the hearts. Young God, always good to see you back again. And let's have a look. Nirati also here again. Very good to see you all. Let's continue. Some people worry that operating this way is time-consuming. Working through disagreements doesn't take time, but it's just about the best way you can spend it. What's important is that you prioritize what you spend time on and who you spend it with. There are lots of people who you will disagree with, and it will be unproductive to consider all their views. It doesn't pay to be open-minded with everyone. Instead, spend time exploring ideas with the most believable people you have access to. So as we very often say, and I often say, you are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most amount of time with. So make sure that those are really good quality people. If you surround yourself with people that are open to open discussion, as opposed to arguing and disagreeing, then you are going to be able to do this every single time. If you're going to be doing thoughtful disagreements with people who are only going to argue back with you and who don't understand the principle of thoughtful disagreement, then you're in trouble. So make sure you surround yourself with lots of really good people who understand the process of thoughtful disagreement. And then it'll be a lot easier. So surround yourself with 5 really good people. If you find you're at an impasse, agree on a person you both respect and enlist them to help moderate the discussion, what we spoke about just before. That's what the politicians should do. What's really counterproductive is spinning in your own head about what's going on, which most people are prone to do. Plus, if I'm invested in A and the other person's invested in B, I can't understand B necessarily, and they can't understand A. So a third person who just comes in and just looks at it from the outside and isn't invested at all can probably see truth a lot better than either of us. Because I can only see A. The other person can see B, 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 B. And the third person comes in and just looks at it and goes, I don't care if it's A or B. And so they have a look at it and they will analyze it. And let's say that there is no consequence to them, whether it's A or B. So they are like totally not. So let's say that it's an investment idea. And I say we should invest in shares. The other person says we should invest in real estate. Let's say we bring somebody in who understands investing, but isn't going to invest in this project. They can look at it without feeling the emotion, without feeling all the feelings and emotions that would go along with making a decision, because you know that your money is going to be on the line. So if you bring somebody in that understands, you don't want to bring in somebody that knows nothing about investing. But if you bring in somebody who understands about investing, but they are not planning to invest into that venture, then they can look at A and B in a much more objective way. Or wasting time disagreeing past the point of diminishing returns. When that happens, move on to a more productive way of getting to a mutual understanding, which isn't necessarily the same thing as agreement. Could be C. So I say A, the other person says B, and all of a sudden we come up with C. Nothing wrong with that. For example, you might agree to disagree. Also possible. We look for different people to go and invest with us. We don't invest together. Why doesn't thoughtful disagreement like this typically occur? Because most people are instinctively reluctant to disagree. For example, if 2 people go to a restaurant and one says he likes the food, the other is more likely to say, I like it too, or not say anything at all, even if that's not true. The reluctance to disagree is the lower level used. Mistaken interpretation of disagreement as conflict. That's why radical open-mindedness isn't easy. You need to teach yourself the art of having exchanges in ways that don't trigger such reactions in yourself or others. This was what I had to learn when Bob, Giselle, and Dan told me I made people feel belittled. Holding wrong opinions in one's head and making bad decisions based on them instead of having thoughtful disagreements is one of the greatest tragedies of mankind. Being able to thoughtfully disagree would so easily lead to radically improved decision-making in all areas: public policy, politics, medicine, science, philanthropy, personal relationships, and more. Oh, I like that chapter, or that part of the chapter, a lot. We're going to continue tomorrow with 3.4, triangulate your view with believable people who are willing to disagree. So I'm looking forward to that tomorrow. Yes, we are Thursday, so we still have one more day left in the week. So that is extremely exciting. If you enjoyed these videos, please go and watch the rest of them, because we have from beginning to this part of the book, all recorded. We have Rich Dad Poor Dad recorded, The Art of Thinking Clearly, and we're probably going to be reading Fake by Robert Kiyosaki as the next book. So if you'd like to watch those, you can do that on YouTube, The Passive Cash Flow Club. Make sure you subscribe, because we also put up videos with the answers to your questions. So we've got a number of questions going up every single week, and make sure that you keep those questions coming. So make sure you subscribe to YouTube. If you are subscribed, you will see a notification when those questions are uploaded. So if it's your question, you'll know when your question's been answered. And if you haven't asked a question, please do. But if you get the notification, you will then see that there is a question and answer, and it might be relevant to something that you are doing right now, and it might help you solve one of your challenges with regards to your investing, wealth creation, or understanding of economics or Principles by Ray Dalio. So if you do have questions, you can send me a message on Instagram, business_team_6_official. I would love to hear from you, especially people also on Bigo. I see you, I see your messages, I see the little hearts and everything, and I would love to get to know you. So feel free to reach out on Instagram. Also, if you are interested, so for example, tonight I have a networking event for the stock market. We're doing them for real estate. We're doing them for business at some point as well. So I'm very excited about that. And if you get in touch on Instagram, you can let me know that you're interested in that, or the simulator nights that we run, the education nights, the other things that we are running. And we're going to be increasing those over time so that you can either get started with investing by doing it in a safe place, where you are learning without being able to lose money. So you're still doing it, so you're simulating, but you're not going to be able to lose money. And that's the best way to get started. And then we'll take baby steps into real life, and then bigger steps in order to be able to help you start your investment journey. If you are already investing, you can also practice the simulator and test new strategies. You can do all sorts of different things that you've never done before and see what works and what doesn't, what gets better results than you're getting now, or what gets worse results than you're getting now. Because I always believe that if you're investing, if you are getting, let's say, for example, currently you're getting a 5% return, there's probably a way for you to get a 6, 7, 8% return. But if you keep doing what you're doing right now, you're going to stay at that 5% level. So you might find something that gets you a 3% return, then maybe keep your 5%. But if you suddenly find something by experimenting with other things on the side that you can find something that has a 7% return, then why would you keep doing the 5? Or you might want to do some of the 5 and some of the 7. There are unlimited possibilities, and that is what we show you at the simulation nights. So if you're interested in those, and if you want to improve your investing, or if you want to get started, then get in touch on Instagram, business_team_6_official, and we'll send you the details. Just let us know that you're interested. No strings attached. If you enjoy it, great. If not, we can still be great friends. And you can still come and join us for the readings if you want in the mornings. So it has been an absolute pleasure. I really love having you all here. Remember to make the switch to unlock your rich. Just like I said, if you keep doing the same investment strategy and you get the same returns, then you are not necessarily going to unlock your rich. You're going to stay at the same level. If you want to reach a whole new level, you want to be doing things differently. You want to be testing on the side. You might find things that are not so great, but you'll find some things that are even better than what you are doing now if you keep experimenting on the side while you're still doing whatever it is that you are doing. So remember to make the switch to unlock your rich in wealth, in relationships, in health, in every area of your life. I'm going to jump across to Bigo, and we're going to get this up onto the YouTube. And I'm looking forward to seeing you all again tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining.